pretty much I started an herb garden. I've been wanting to get into gardening, and I feel like an herb garden would be like an easy way to like get into it. So I planted some herbs that I already have. We planted some chamomile, oregano, lemon balm, eggplant, and green onion. A lot of the packet names are probably going to be in Norwegian because I'm currently in Norway. I really haven't grown too many things on my own. I've mainly bought like plants and then like kept them alive, but I haven't really grown anything from seed very much. But pretty much, yeah, I'm super excited to see where they go. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience in this.
Okay, so I just cut myself off because I went off on a tangent. But what I started doing was I grabbed little pots for each individual herb and veggie that I wanted to grow, put soil, the seeds, and watered them in for each one. At the same time, I decided to plant some flowers that we had bought, some sunflowers and this other flower, and I pretty much just laid them in a little Tupperware with a wet paper towel so they could germinate, and I put some saran wrap over it so that it could have its own humidity but also be able to breathe. Back to the herbs, so I made some little signs because it was going to be really hard to tell them apart just by looking at them, so I just grabbed some construction paper and made some little signs that would fit in the little slot that these planters already had in them. I also wrote the names in Norwegian just because I am an avid language learner, and I decided since I'm in Norway I would put them in Norwegian just to help my language skills. I placed them all on a bright windowsill to grow, and now it was just waiting time.
Okay, so the seeds didn't grow very much, but I didn't expect for there to be any growth on day 2. And I also planted them really late yesterday. They are getting a ton of sun, but I'm worried about some of them because they're kind of behind like a little windowsill type thing, like the in-betweens of the window. So I don't know, but we'll see. I imagine within like a week they might be growing. I'm also worried that maybe like I put too little soil or they're not getting enough sun. I don't know, worried about a lot of things. Worried it's just not gonna work. But I have high hopes that it will.
So on day 3, there was not much progress on the herbs again, but the sunflowers started sprouting quite quickly since we were germinating them, and the other seeds of the other flowers were a little bit fluffy on them. By day 4 though, we finally had little sprouts of green on the herbs. It was so tiny, but finally something was growing. A couple of days later, we transplanted the little flower seeds that we were germinating into small pots so that they could start growing in soil. And a few days after that, the flowers were doing great. One of the sunflowers did not survive being transplanted, so we only ended up with 2 sunflowers remaining.
Okay, so it is day 18 of growing the herbs, and it's going pretty good so far. They're really easy to take care of. It hasn't been like too ridiculously long, and it isn't time for me to be able to like prune them to get any herbs from them yet. But the care is really, really simple. I didn't look up any care guides previously to growing them to know what to do. But I did just now just to make sure that what I was doing was correct and I wasn't giving like wrong information. But pretty much I've just been watering them as they dry up. So I just put my finger in the soil, and if the soil is like dry, then I just water them. All of them are currently in a windowsill in direct sun, and they've been doing fine. They seem to be thriving. From what I've read in regards to like growing the herbs, it seems like once they start growing, the more you like prune them, the more that they grow, like it promotes growth from them. So I'm gonna have to try that once they start growing. But so far they all look really, really good. I haven't had any problems with them just yet. The only one that's been a little sparse has been the oregano, but other than that, they've been pretty okay.
So this is the last time. I also recorded the flowers. Those are the sunflowers, and then these are the other flowers that have grown.
Okay, so this is the final update for these little herbs that I've been growing. I leave soon, so this is going to be the last update for these since I won't be taking these with me on a plane. So pretty much I learned a ton from growing these herbs. I think it's really beneficial to know what the herbs you are growing look like, because I think either the soil or the seed packets that I had, I think it probably was the soil, I had like plants in it, I guess, or like seeds from other plants in it. Pretty much I had a lot of stinging nettle growing in these, which is not bad. Stinging nettle, if you see a cat, by the way, she's just walking around. She likes to join me and help out. But stinging nettle is beneficial as like a tea and stuff like that. It just stings when you like touch it, but once you boil it in hot water, you're good to go. You can drink it in a tea. I make it for my boyfriend all the time. He really likes it. I literally just do the stinging nettle, and I maybe do like something else in there, like another tea or something, and then I add some honey, and he really likes it. If you like really herbally stuff, then you'll like stinging nettle tea. But yeah, I didn't realize that these were growing inside the plants, so I got stung a ton of times because I was just touching them, and I didn't realize that it was stinging nettle, so I had to take them all out of the plants. Not only that, but for my green onions, I had like, I would say like a weed, I guess, but it was like a flower of some sort, like some sort of wildflower that was growing inside this pot. It had a lot of trouble, I guess, getting a head start. I left it in there for a little bit too long. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left it in there, but I didn't know that it wasn't green onion. Something that did help me to, I guess, know what was that I just looked up pictures of like what the plants actually looked like, but I also looked up like, I had like a plant identifier app pretty much that would help identify some of the plants that were in there that weren't the plant that I was growing, so that kind of helped. I probably might end up using lemon balm before I leave, but a lot of these are not fully grown, so I can't really use them to their full benefit, so I'm going to go into some of the uses and benefits of these plants so you can use them yourself. So these two were the ones that grew the most, which was the chamomile and the lemon balm. Chamomile has like little like flowers and stuff like that looks like dandelions, I guess, which are my favorite flowers, to be honest, but they haven't grown that much yet. But chamomile and lemon balm are pretty similar in the fact that you can use them both for pretty medicinal and like herbal uses, I guess. So you can use them both in tea for ailments like, don't quote me on this because I can't remember, but like headaches and stuff like that. I know lemon balm is used as well for like if you're like sick and stuff like that, for indigestion, things like that. You can easily find online teas and stuff that you can make. But not only that, you can use them both for like essential oils, salads, lip balms, soap bars, so many things. And the lemon balm smells so good. Like it actually smells really lemony. I don't know, like it just smells really good. I love it. Moving on to the oregano, as you guys may know, oregano is used as a spice for a ton of dishes. You can use it in cooking and stuff. Mine's didn't really grow that much. It grew a little bit on the side, but it wasn't growing for like the longest time. Like it really was not thriving. I don't know what ended up happening to mine, but you can also use oregano to reduce coughing and for like parasitic infections, although it's not proven that that's the case, but you can use it similar to the other two, like as an herbal type thing. I don't know what type of oregano this is, but the oregano that I usually use back home has a very distinct smell, and this one doesn't really smell like anything like these leaves, so I'm not quite sure. Okay, so this is the eggplant, and then this is the green onion. Both of these obviously haven't finished growing because these are vegetables. They haven't finished growing, but they're doing really great. Like the eggplant is like super soft. I think it's getting a little too much sun because it's turning a little yellow and it's getting dyed, and like some of the leaves are falling off. So I might take it away from the window where it originally was. And then this guy, the green onion, did not do very well. Like I definitely know that some of the seeds that were in there were green onions, but I had a plant that was pretty much in there that was like some sort of flower that was overtaking, and I think it was like eating up a lot of the resources that this green onion was supposed to be taking. Overall, I really enjoyed taking care of these little plants. They were super easy to grow. Like I had said at the beginning of this video, I sprinkled like a ton of seeds into these pots, so I definitely had like a lot more than I expected. In the lemon balm, I had a ton. Like I have so many in here. If you guys have any tips as to how I could make these grow better, or any tips for like herbs and stuff like that, let me know in the comments, because I would like to try this again with different herbs and see if I can use them for stuff actually this time. Like the video if you enjoyed this little journey of these little herby guys, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, I make a ton of unrelated videos, but check it out.